Obviously, we spoke last time we spoke was after the, I think, 5 away friendlies for pre-season. We've just had the 3. What's your overall feeling on those 3 games that we've played at Seal Park?
I think we probably had 180 good minutes, 90 not so good. And I would split that, probably the first 15, 20 minutes of the Salford game and Pontefract game. I thought we took a lot into each of those games and get into the rhythm and the tempo of it. And the second half at Staley Bridge, when I just thought we were a bit lethargic, a bit flat. I thought once we settled into Salford and Pontefract, we were good. And I thought first half against Staley Bridge, we were good. I came away thinking we'd underperformed, we were poor, and there were certain things we were singling out on different players. And I watched the game back. And the beauty of doing that without the emotion of the occasion is you can analyse the performance a little bit more. And yes, there were things to improve on, but actually some of the football we played was very good. Some of the chances we created were decent, and actually the goals were preventable. So things to work on. Not a result I'm happy with, but not as bad a performance as the 3-0 suggests.
And then I suppose Anthony Brown obviously hasn't featured in any of the 3 home games so far. Is that a precautionary, or are there any worries about him being fit for the start of the season?
So Brownie had patella tendonitis, or has patella tendonitis, so a bit of inflammation around the knee. We've been careful how we manage that. So he's been working on a rehab program rather than training. He thought he would be fit for Saturday, and I think probably from his knee would have been fit, but he picked up a bit of a bug and he sore throat and various other things. So we decided it was better to keep him away from the squad, given that. He trained last night and he looked absolutely fine. So he should be fit and ready to go Saturday.
Cool. And any other players? I know a couple came off early last week. Any other worries over any of the others before?
No worries particularly. We've got a few missing over at weekend. So Dale Latham's a wedding. It's one of those things where it should have been in May, but difficult in this environment when you've got to rearrange at short notice. So he disclosed that before he signed, in fairness to Dale. But Jordan's a very good deputy, so I'm not worried about that. Ben Richardson is dual reg with Wythenshawe Amateurs, so he'll be playing for them on Saturday. I think it's important for Ben to get some game time under his belt now. He's been superb to commit the way he has and to build the fitness the way he has, whilst trying to manage 2 young twins, being in hospital, other things going on in his life. I think he's testament to how professional he is. So I think with a few games under his belt, I think he'll be back ready to get involved in the squad. And David Cuba has been out for a couple of weeks with illness, and I don't think he'll be quite ready for weekend. And then the last one's Bailey Marsden, who's on holiday, so he's going to see his family. Again, it's difficult to say much in this environment. So we've got 4 missing, but that's why we signed 21. It's for exactly this kind of scenario.
Just so I suppose on that subject, obviously we've finished the last of the player announcements today, and like you said, it's a squad of 21. How do you see yourself being able to keep 21 players happy? Do you think there'll be a bit of dual reg in there as well?
I think so, and we've been quite open in having those conversations. Ben's already dual regged. There are players who know they're coming in as backup for certain positions, and we'll see how the first few games pan out in terms of whether they're getting game time, and if not, then we'll look at potentially dual regging. A couple of clubs I've spoken to are looking at players in certain positions where it's possible we may have someone. And with some of the younger lads in the squad, that's probably a good thing for them. Actually going out getting 10 games in the counties this season under the belt before coming back to us would be no bad thing. It's a little bit different from academy football. So the likes of Ben Lowe and Bailey Marsden, that might be a good stepping stone for them.
Cool. And then I suppose from an overall point of view of pre-season, what's been your standouts? What's been, obviously we talked about Staley Bridge being sort of not necessarily the greatest, but almost your probably lowest point of pre-season, but your highest, and what you've been most impressed with during pre-season.
The lowest was definitely Winston away. And that that was probably the point at which we realised we need to bring a few more bodies in. And we were kind of scrabbling around a little bit. We had a couple of lads playing that we'd seen for the first time. It's never ideal, and we were just, the whole thing was just but we started well, should have been 2 or 3 up after 20 minutes, and and then just let them into the game with full management of it. High points are probably the way in which we managed the Pontefract game. That for me was an NPL type game. They wanted to win. It was really clear they wanted to win, and we kind of withstood that physicality. We played our football. We then got the win. So it kind of showed a little bit about character, and that's what we need to build. That's what we need to work on. The technical attributes are there in the squad. The fitness is there, but we perhaps just lack a little bit of know-how, a little bit of nous, a little bit of how to kill a game off or change the tempo of the game when you're under the cosh. And it was pleasing to start to see that creeping in more and more leaders coming out in the dressing room.
Yeah, definitely. What you expecting from Bootle as a team? Obviously, a newly promoted team.
Yeah.
What do you expect to see?
For their very first game at this level, side who've been promoted, who probably would have come up a year earlier had we not had COVID and the impact that had on restructure. A side who have been consistently on the top of the North West Counties Premier. So they by no means, they're no way going to be a rollover. The sides at that level are good. The top sides, I think all three teams who will be competitive. We've watched them. We've got an idea of what their style of play might be, and we're going to work on the training field tomorrow to how we're going to combat that and how we're going to play against it. I think if we deliver against the game plan, I think we win the game. But they will come fired up and in our faces, and I think it'll be similar to Pontefract. So it'll be up to us to make sure we match that and then allow our football to do the talking.
And then last last thing really, I suppose, would be have you got a message for the fans? Obviously, it's different pre-season to actually this Saturday, where we'll have hopefully more people in, a louder crowd, goals that actually mean something. I suppose just a message for the fans.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out there again. It's been so nice through pre-season. As you say, it's been a little bit of a party atmosphere, welcome people back, and there's nothing on the line. But just having the fans there, and you saw the players come around at the end of each game, and you can see what it means to them to play in front of such a passionate group of supporters. So I can't wait to just get back going. Hopefully, we put on a performance on Saturday. We've all got something to celebrate from 5 o'clock in the clubhouse.